Hi everyone, it's the weekly wrap up again here. It's nice to see you. I am exhausted. Our entire team is exhausted from just a lot of work, a lot of storms, a lot of mowing, and losses. You guys have seen that on the recent posts as well, that saying goodbye to Catio was really challenging. Lavani still tends to be doing pretty well, which is great. No more interest in Aaron at all, which is okay. And then Nala was hard for everybody, but especially hard for the staff and interns, since so many of them have lived with that little old lady Bengal. So thank you guys for being there for us through our losses. Sadly, with a huge geriatric population, it's not our last, and we will be sharing some news with you soon. So we also have some old cats that are on the Quality of Life watch, and that includes Bengal Max, Bengal Tiger, Bengal Benny, just to name a few. We have some really oldies but goodies here at the sanctuary, It's just so hard to say goodbye. It is so hard to say goodbye. And I've seen other sanctuaries had losses recently too. It just, thank you for the happy photo bomb, Dahlia. We needed that. We needed a smile on our face. I know. Thank you. Thank you. We really needed the happy face. Thank you. So it's the hardest thing I think any rescue does, what? Dahlia says, talk to me, as we've talked about before, is we've seen cruelty, we've seen neglect, we've seen terrible things when we're out on rescue, and you can compartmentalize quite a bit to get the job done. Hi, honey. But once they're here and they're kind of past the sanctuary threshold, they become family, and we can't keep them safe from cancer or old age and things like that, and that becomes extremely difficult. But we know it's part of our job, and there's 149 other animals that need the care that day. So it has been quite an exhausting week, and we're really excited to share with some of the stuff that's been going on. But at first, I wanted to share a couple of other things. So we had an outreach booth over the weekend, which lovely interns and volunteers were at. And we're in a small town, and we have, for you, those of you who might not know, we are pretty much now the only exotic animal facility in our county. But for many years, there was a facility that exhibited and bred and sold and bought wildcats, and would do Renaissance festivals and bring them out on leashes and things like that, which was not a good place. They ended up having a lot of cats passing away of starvation, unfortunately. One of the employees there was killed by a tiger, and we took in Titan and Lily from that facility. And that was only 5 miles down the road. We also had another facility that's a game farm, a photo game farm. And they allow you to do photo ops and be a photographer. And anybody that knows that wildlife photography, most of the times it's not wildlife photography. It's people going and paying game farms to let caged animals out into a field for a small amount of time to get really good photos. And so that game farm in our area is also been prosecuted for illegal take of wildlife out of the wild, canned hunting of a bear, and a recent non-animal related felony theft charge. That person also has a rendering license to pick up roadkill, things like that, and is also, I think, animal control for one of the townships. I'm not really sure. So there's been this rumor for years that because that individual was animal control, that they were trapping the feral cat population and feeding to wild animals. We have no idea if any of that is true or not, but now there is some small mom and pop cat rescue groups that keep thinking that that is us, that they're sadly, we're all working towards the same goal of saving more lives and saving animal lives. And you guys know how much we love domestic cats and how much we work so hard, not only on the domestic cats that are in our office, and the strays that come through our sanctuary, but the Bengal population. And so somehow somebody came to our booth and said that, I'm going to get to the bottom of it. I know that it is the Wildcat Sanctuary that's trapping feral cats and feeding them to your cats. And this is like the third time I've heard it over probably 6 or 7 years. And really, we do nothing about it because I'm not going to give power to something that's not true. Most anybody that knows the sanctuary knows how dedicated we are to saving domestic cats. You know, even one stray cat, Roan, that came to our property, he couldn't be socialized. It wouldn't work to have him in a bungalow. We drove him and did all the vet work all the way to Cedar Hill, Mississippi, to our friends at Cedar Hill who have a 3.5 acre feral cat area. And so, you know, it's just disheartening when you work so hard. And animal groups, we really don't want them to have misinformation because we're all working for the same goal. So I apologize to our interns that had to field that accusation, which wasn't true. But, you know, in a week where we've lost a small cat that we adore, it's just hard to hear. And so on top of that, we've been doing more outreach booths. Most people know who we are. Most people can Google us quickly. Obviously, we have paid our dues and everybody knows what we've done. I know I'm getting a radio call, but I'm on a live post, so I'll just have to respond to her in a second. And then, so some other cats we're watching is Cougar Noah. Many of you know he has osteoarthritis. He's got severe arthritis in his knees. 1 second, I gotta answer my radio call while I'm on. Can I call you back in just a second? I'm on a live post. Okay, it's life at the sanctuary. They're doing awesome work. So we've been watching him and seeing if we've up meds. We even are considering possibly moving the 3 wild out of the 5 wild, you know, or 5 wild, the 3 remaining into a different habitat, getting closer to the end of the summer just because it is getting harder for him to move around that huge habitat they have. So we keep you updated on that. But he's getting really smart. So he's acting like it's really hard to walk. He's pretty chubby, so we are decreasing his diet. Definitely with osteoarthritis, we want him lighter weight. I hear you, Dahlia. And he's waiting till he knows there's not meds in the food and that there's not a chance of him locking into the vet to come look at him. And then he runs up to the fence for his food. So I always love when animals are smarter than us. We think we're trying to teach them something, and instead they are really training us. Tiger Noah is about the same. We're watching him, as you guys know. Same thing, we're trying to get weight off of him because of his ongoing osteoarthritis. Lavani is doing great. Dahlia, who's here talking, come here, little princess, come here, little princess, has somehow decided to get a food belly, and she's always been one of our little office peanuts. And so Emery and her have, I think, having some eating contests. And so Dahlia, who might be talking right now because she's getting down to her diet starting tomorrow. Don't tell her. Yeah, huh? Come here, gorgeous. You just gonna keep photobombing? And so there's been a lot going on. We were walking around today, and Bobcat Buddy and Canada Lynx Ripley, man, do they like to make a lot of noise and make it sound like there is a huge fight going on when they're really just screaming at each other at the shared wall. But Ripley is definitely an instigator. She is a cute Canada Lynx, but man, does she like to start and make a lot of noise. So we are considering, Buddy likes to antagonize her too and gets a little rise out of her. Nobody's hurting each other. It's just a little disruptive during the day. And so we're considering possibly moving Buddy, since he's 20, up to one of the smaller single bobcat habitats, and maybe a pair or another cat down to next to them. But that's going to be over the next couple weeks. So this week, we've really, the staff and interns at AmeriCorps and volunteers have been working diligently to get Sushi's habitat done. With the rain that's been happening, that's put a halt on it. But they've done the double door, they've put the skirting on the double door, they've done the whole inspection, they're working on the water feature, they've done amazing jungle gyms. And so our goal is that Sushi was gonna move yesterday, but we keep adding wonderful stuff to the habitat. So she'll probably move tomorrow, and that you probably won't see her for a week or so on social media, just so you know, because we really want her to settle in. And so we'll keep you posted on that. And then also, there is a lot of big cat moves going on. So if you're a sponsor parent of, most of them are tigers, you should get updates in the near future, maybe next week, making sure they stick. But we have a few that are wanting to be a little zealous on the shared wall. So AmeriCorps and everybody's putting up another row of mesh. We just want to make sure no toe beans get through the fence or anything like that. We have, let's see, other things that have been going on. Catio Town, we had the inspector here twice to inspect the septic tank going in, which is great. We are all done with the TWS part, but now we've told that the contractors will not be starting until the end of this month or early next month. They've promised us that the end date has not changed. We're really holding them to that because the cats have to get in. But it would have been nice to have seen more work started earlier, but we have all the site prep done. The excavator's been here, the water line's in, the septic tank is in, and so we're really excited about that. And then I just have to thank you. So much stuff has been coming in off the wish list for Catio Town. That is just amazing. It is really meaningful to see that you guys are going to help us fill Catio Town. If you're really interested in helping more on the wish list, our big thing is we're going to have cat TVs in every one of the rooms. And so I still think there's like 7 TVs at $150 that need to be purchased, plus the mounts for the TVs because they're going to go up high so the cats can't damage them. And then the cat doors that are on the human doors to go in and out of the room to the catio. So there's a lot of fun stuff on the wish list, but those are really our must-haves. And we can post the wish list on Amazon here in the comments and up on top after the live post, so you can purchase those if you want. Also, on top of this, we've been having board meetings. So Gina, Katie, and I were at a board meeting that ran till about 9 o'clock last night and covering everything from maybe looking at a new donor database, what new technology can help TWS, to also some issues with some transport crates we ordered. It's just, I love our board. They're so involved. They have such an expertise. We're looking at sustainability statements and kind of putting that into a marketing document. So that was really busy there too. AmeriCorps has been busy working on the mesh. They're helping a lot with grounds. So next week we have Summer Safari, which is one of our top donor events. So if you're coming, we're excited to see you. And so we are trying to get mowing done, pools cleaned and all that. And the Mother Nature just keeps raining, I think 5 inches almost we got at one time. So the grass is growing, the pools are filled, and every time we try and clean up, it just makes another mess. So we're hoping to get everything ready for that event. And then we also, on top of this all, so we are really an organization that has heart, and you guys know it because you're part of that heart, but we're also professionalized, and we want to be really good stewards of your dollars, so and your finances. So that's part of what we were looking at last night, is more checks and balances that we, as we grow, can continue to add to the financial side. Even signer insurance and things like that, because we just always want to make sure that we have all the checks and balances, no matter who's in a position anywhere, to make sure everything's handled, done properly. We're looking at our document retention policy, things like that. But one part of things is we're one of the few sanctuaries that I know of that do employee reviews. And so everybody goes through employment performance review. We also look at what the goals for that employee was last year, what they want to set for the future, and how they support the mission, and also give them a clear path for moving up in our organization. We know your body can age out if you are a caretaker, but we want people to be able to move up. So we're very excited. Some announcements will be, there's 4 people that have gotten promotions. Doesn't mean they're moving departments or anything like that, but it means they've been doing a great job. And so some of, we have a caretaker moving to a senior caretaker position and other positions that move to a more senior role and take on more responsibility within the department. So just shows we've got a stellar staff, and we want to compensate them for that, make sure we set clear goals and expectations and follow through with that so that they're getting continuing education as well. And on top of that, we had new animal care interns start today. So they moved in over the last 2 days. And then we also, they have orientation today. So when new interns start, as you guys know, we're so excited to have them, but it is a couple days of just the general onboarding, touring, safety protocol, and then they go into the deeper dive of training, getting checked off in their zones under their caretaker, that they know how to use double doors, that they know the food prep, the individual care, all of that kind of stuff. So a lot of different things going on there, a lot of moving parts right now. So needless to say, it has been busy. And so I am very excited for our donor event next week because that just regenerates us, to see you guys in person and to be able to just give you a hug and say thank you for the work, and let you see the cats that you support and let you see all the new projects that you are investing in is really, really special to us. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to be able to share over the next week or two. Olivia, Judson, Temo, and Joe will show most of those cat moves. And then we're also looking at planning the next round of moves, bobcats, and moving some of our elderly single bobcats, like we said, into the smaller areas, and including Kimbo, who's the new Eurasian lynx now, to where she can go and maybe see more cats, more of her kind, things like that. So there's never anything short here. We also, for the board, Katie did and Gina did a presentation on our volunteer support. And I don't think people know enough of, the 41 crew days that come here. And those are one time where they come and they work in a team of 6 to 8 and they do projects. And it is not light duty work. It is heavy duty for anybody that's been on a crew day. And we have a lot of people reoccurring. We have mowing teams. We have chores and more teams. So people come and help wash the cat dishes and buckets and food buckets while the caretakers are out, help keep the food prep clean. And after 6 months, they can go into the more part, which means they can go sit and read a book to an unsocialized cat. There's a bunch of different cats that might be singles that might want more attention that they can do. And so we have that. We have the mowing team. We have the garden team. We have our specialty team. So we have the carpenters, and they're coming. One of the carpenters is coming this week to put more bridges over by the Ukraine Pride, plus the railings on the bridges. And we have another carpenter coming to help us finish the bungalows, because Sushi will be moving to her habitat. We have some bobcats moving, but their bungalows, the heated buildings, still need to be finished, insulated, electric, the kennel fronts, the furniture, and all that. So they're going to come help doing the woodwork for that. And then we have 2 more that are moving to upgrade the existing and the hybrid areas that we're keeping. So that's really important. And on top of it, we have outreach volunteers who go out and do outreach. We have vet techs and volunteer vets that work under Dr. Campbell. And so that's a big team, including the Healing Touch team. And then we have a development team. You guys know Sally, Julie, Beth, and Carissa, who do our uproar and mailings, and they assist me. I could not get through a day, let alone the year, without our amazing development volunteers. And of course, Jenny's part of that. And then we have all the people that are donating in kind, whether it's the wish list or Casey donating her paintings. So we look like that we're the small 19 full-time staff, and then we have the interns. But when you add those 150 volunteers, not including those crew days on, we have a massive team, and you guys are all part of that team. And so thank you so much. We have social media volunteers we've had in the past, event volunteers, and there's so many things that people do that I'm just continue amazed. And Katie said it last night. We have a volunteer in the summer flies from Delaware every month to volunteer here. that's commitment. Most of our volunteers are an hour and a half away. 80% of them are coming from the cities or Duluth. So just to come do their shift, they're driving an hour and a half each way. So I just want you all to know how much you're appreciated. The volunteers appreciated, the donors, and everything else. So thank you guys for everything. I'm going to answer that radio call because I know we're going to let a couple big cats out on that mesh shared wall to see if their move was successful and if we can make a friendship even through the wall, if not a merger eventually. But again, thank you guys. I appreciate Kathy, you being here, Faith, you being here. I've seen so many of you, your names keep coming up on the comments, and I appreciate it so much. One of these days, you're going to see me in my bifocal readers, so I can actually read your comments and help respond in live time like Livia and Judson do. But really, you guys, thank you. You keep everything we're going. And I appreciate that you're here, Jill and Tanya and Julie. So have a great rest of your week. And I hope next week we'll get to be able to share some of those big cat moves with you. And probably a couple weeks we'll be able to share Sushi with you. But we're definitely going to let her settle in and have space. This will be new for Sushi. She'll be around big cats and right next door to Shrek and Anastasia. And so we're going to give her some privacy for quite some time to settle in. It's a very big area for that little girl. And so as much as she's going to love the space, I'm sure it's going to be intimidating at first. So please be patient with us, but know your dollars were great at work building this wonderful, wonderful species-specific habitat for our little fishing cat Sushi. So I'll see you next week.